Alright, welcome back everybody, my name is Atris, and today we're playing Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today we are playing on Orbital Shipyard? No, Dusk Towers. Playing on Dusk Towers against a Zerg player named Slacker. I am going for, initially I'm planning on going for just a quick charge lot all in, but my scouting changes my mind. It will be a standard 17 Nexus opening, so it'll be, but gateway first. So it's 14 pylon, 16 gateway, 17 Nexus, so on and so forth. And I'll sort of explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But somebody commented and asked if I could do like a basic scouting guide, like what I'm looking at, and that kind of a thing, like what to look for when you do scout. And while I'm working on that, this is a very good example of what you can see early on and how it can change your plan for the whole game. Now, like I said, I am going 17 Nexus, and again, planning on going charge lots. I am watching my probe down on the minimap. I just dropped my Nexus. I do see that he doesn't have a third, which is, just fine for a minute 20. Dropping my assimilator, and as soon as my gateway's done, I will be dropping a cybernetics core. Now I'm still watching my minimap. I'm waiting until I see that. Okay, I do see the second base. Now I'm going to run around and see. I do see that he has one gas. I do see that he more than likely has that spawning pool. I'm guessing that's what it is. And I'm going to see if he has the second gas just to confirm. And in the minimap I see that he does. While I am dropping my other assimilator, I'm going to check on his third. Now, right away, I do see two assimilators, and he is mining from both of them. You see, 1 and 3. However, I did see that while I was running around. We'll go ahead and start it again. I do not see his third, as it turns out. Still making probes, getting my cybernetics core, supply blocked, never a good thing. Trying to get my Vespene gas up, making a zealot. Now, instantly, when I see those two gases in the main base, I am now switching gears and planning on Mutalisks. So that means heavy ling for the initial attack, followed up with 10 to 15 Mutalisks by about 7.5, 8 minutes. That's the plan. Well, probably more like 6.5, 7. Anyway, but that's what I saw right away. He went for double gas. That made me think Mutalisks. And so I instantly changed my mind, getting out his sentry so that I can continue to scout with the hallucination. Mothership cores out now, dropping double gateways, getting my base fully saturated, warping, chronoing out warp gate.
Your probes are under attack.
And sentry's just about done. He's just for a little bit of defense and for sight later on. I do want to get in there and confirm the Mutalisk plan. I did drop those two gateways because I do want to have some sort of defense for when the inevitable massive Zergling comes in. Warp gate is just about done. Two gateways, like I said, double assimilator. Now I'm dropping the Stargate. Pretty confident in my assertion that it was in fact Spire, but I don't have a confirmation yet. But again, I saw those two Vespene gas in one base, not a third. And he's mining from both gases. That means Mutalisks, almost always. Now the Stargate is just about done. Warp gate is just about done. I'm going to change these all to gates, or to warp gates. I'm sorry. And my sentry is just about able to do a hallucination, dropping a Twilight Council so that I can get the Templar Archives later on. As soon as he gets 100, I'm going to make a Phoenix hallucination. I'm going to run through and attempt to confirm the Mutalisks. Now my Stargate is done. I will be queuing up 2 Phoenixes, eventually be making 3, and dropping 2 more gateways, because again I want to make sure if it was just a just a strange thing that he did. But going in and I see the Spire. I don't really care what else I see, because now I have to prepare for for the Mutalisks.
Teleport
And you can
successful.
see he's already making some. He's already queuing up 2, and they're just about done. So I've got my Phoenixes, 1 Phoenix on the way out, 2 queued up, a second Stargate went down, my Forger went down, warping in some Stalkers.
I'm here in the shadows.
Now I know my opponent's plan, so I can defend it.
Teleport successful.
But again, I am planning on that massive Zergling rush that almost always comes before the Mutalisk hit. Dropping the Fleet Beacon as well, because I definitely want the Anion Pulse Crystals, which is the Phoenix range, and continuing to chrono out from both my Stargates now the Phoenix, because I know it's going to be about 10 to 20-ish Mutalisks at any given time, depending on how quickly he decides to hit. Now, if I don't know this and I'm going for Zealots, first of all, I would have already hit him, but I wouldn't have any defense, and I also wouldn't have any way to stop the Mutalisks, except for my Mothership Core, and they would just knock her out of the sky. Adepts are coming out because, again, I am anticipating Zergling rush. I am in fact wrong. He doesn't send Zerglings this time. Also beginning the Resonating Glaives upgrade for my Adept that I'm planning on being able to use. And there I am doing the Anion Pulse Crystals. And at about 6 minutes and 50 seconds, I am going for my third. I could have, of course, gone faster on that. Probably should have. It would have helped my economy a lot. But I definitely wanted to have enough Phoenix in the air to defend myself. Again, still chronoing out the Phoenix, continuing to make pylons and the like, making probes, but always keeping those Phoenixes going until I do see that he is in fact attacking me with the Mutalisks. I cancelled my base a little prematurely. I probably shouldn't, but what I'm doing right now is I'm warping in, and I did not evacuate this base because I wanted to try and buy some time for my Phoenix to get back in, be able to get us around, and then hit him with the double double photon cannon, and get him with the Phoenix. Now I'm not hotkeying these like I should, but I've got plenty of Phoenix to clean this up. All I did was lose probes, which I did lose a lot of them. I shouldn't have lost that many, but all in all, the defense was more than good enough.
Upgrade complete.
So my Resonating Glaives is done. My Anion Pulse Crystals is done, which again is the Phoenix range. I believe I did get the +1. I can't remember right now, but now I'm having to spend money and replenish replenish my probe count. There I do. I get +1 right now. Now I do have a pretty sizable army right now. I mean, it's not great, but it's good enough. So I do make another hallucinated Phoenix. I constantly want to be looking. I constantly want to be seeing what I can see, what I can guess my opponent's next is. Because if he's going Corruptors behind this, I am going to stop making Phoenixes, and I am going to make a lot more Stalkers, or any ground unit. But I do see that he did go for a third base. It's not saturated at all, which means that his economy is just as bad or worse than mine. Now you can, that's conjecture and it's just a guess, but if he doesn't have a strong economy behind that Mutalisk attack, then you can guess that you're in a pretty good position if you defended it like I did, or preferably without losing all of your probes. Now I do have a lot of phoenixes, but I do have a good substantial
Teleport
ground army, so
successful.
I'm just going to send those the Stalker, Zealot, and Adepts. Just going to knock out this third base. Want to pick up some drones, take out this third base, coax out his Mutalist army that I know he's got. At this point, knock them out of the sky pretty easily. I mean, I've got range and I've got speed on them. You could kite an entire army of Mutalisks
Engaging
all
the
day,
enemy.
and you'd never lose a single Phoenix. I do see that he went Hive. Now that I've scouted again,
Let our enemy know
but
our
I've got his
fury.
third. I can, you can just see that he's not got a whole lot. He invested a lot into fast Mutalisks,
Let our enemy
but
know
I do
our
see that I
fury.
did scout the Hydralisk den, and kind of anticipating, maybe a lurker switch or something, but
Upgrade
the game's
complete.
just about over right now. Then there it is. The main point of this game, though, was the scouting, just the constant, seeing what my opponent's doing, seeing the initial scouting of the double gas changed my entire mind. It's possible that I would have been able to get the Zealots out quick enough to stop this, but his Spire went down at about 3.5 or 4 minutes. I do not have the ability to get Zealots into his base and stop that. So, scouting, very important. I am working on a basic guide, but I am definitely not the best. I'm not an incredibly high level player, but I do what I can. I learn a lot from other players that I watch play, and I'm progressing in my own way. But this is a fun game. Uh, Always scout, especially Mutalist. You definitely want to be able to have the Phoenix in the sky. But after rambling on all that, if you like it, hit that like button. I'll have the build order down below, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta.